experience and story. And I'm kind of like curious. Maybe I start with a careless question first. Like, if your life was a movie, what would be the title? And which actor would play you? Let's start with that. Let's start with that first. So, if your life was a movie, what do you think the title would be? And which actor do you think would best play you, Todd?
Great question. Wow. If my life was a movie, and I'm not ashamed to say that I am 58 years young, so I still have at least 50 more years in the tank. And so, if my life was a movie at this juncture in my life, I would say the title of the movie would be "Don't Give Up, Don't Quit."
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up, don't quit. And that's been my mantra. There's been obstacles, and I would say this to the audience. All of us have faced obstacles, and we have to make a choice as to whether or not we're going to let those obstacles define us or we're going to define the obstacles. So don't give up. If I had to characterize a character that I would exemplify, I would have to say maybe I first came to mind was Superman, but there's also a character called Stretch Man, and you know all of us get stretched. We all get
Mm.
stretched from our arms, from our legs, but we come back and we grow from those experiences. And I can truly say I'm being stretched. If you're not being stretched, you're doing something wrong. If you're wanting to grow, uh, allow yourself to be stretched.
Thank you very much. Stretch Man is going to play him in the movie Don't Give Up, Don't Quit. It's coming out late December 2025. Watch out for the movie as the Todd's life is going to be played for us all to see. But if you see clearly, everyone, from what he touched on, from the title of the movie, you can see that major leadership quality he expressed from just the title, Don't Give Up, Don't Quit. And I want Daniel to touch upon that as well. Is that truly every leader's narrative? Is that truly every leader's reality, that we just get to encounter so many situations where we want to give up and when we want to quit, and then we just have no choice but to keep moving? Daniel, how true is this reality?
So with this, I just want to touch up. If I have to actually give a movie title, I think I'll call it "Dangerous Till Your Highest Version." Be dangerous till your
Very
highest version, and
interesting.
I totally agree with Todd. Life is actually a ladder of challenges.
Mm,
Anytime you are not you are not facing challenges, it means you are not growing. And anytime you're not facing challenges, it means you're not trying new things. Anytime you are always in your place of comfort and you are afraid, then you will not have challenges. So I totally agree with him. You must always stretch yourself. In fact, there's a
mm,
part of our being that desires for us to survive. We are survival beings. So our being
mm.
is put in a place so that we want to survive. So anything that always looks like you are going to stretch yourself.
Just to confirm, I lost audio here. Is it from me or is it from Daniel? Admin, can we confirm so I can switch my Wi-Fi? Okay, it looks like nobody can hear Daniel.
Correct. Can
Really?
hear
You
now.
can't, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. It is.
Okay. Okay, great. I don't know where you lost me, but I was basically saying that life is a lot of challenges. And anytime you are not facing challenges, it means that you are not growing. And
Mm.
our being is made in a form that we always want to survive. We always want to, it's your responsibility first, those boundaries to stretch yourself because within every man is another version of you. As at now, whatever you are, there's another version of you within you. So you must
Mm.
literally break yourself, literally kill yourself to bring that new version of you. So you may go through pain, but in the end, it's always worth it.
Amazing, amazing stuff. Thank you so much, Daniel. And I'm glad you were able to adjust your Wi-Fi connection there. You know, if you're not facing challenges, you're not growing. That stood out for me. Entrepreneurs, If you aren't facing challenges, you're not growing. I see a couple of you had your cameras on. Thank you so much for doing that. It just made this so engaging. Milton, nice to see you. I saw Siangileli earlier. Sorry if I'm touching on the names a bit. I'm still making sure that I am able to pronounce all the names across the world. Mia, I see you. Julius Greenfield, you're welcome. If you can switch on your camera, it's beautiful to do so because connection lies in what we see. Now, if you just join us, this is the Entrepreneurs Assembly, where we have a fireside chat with two amazing ladies. I'm still going to read out their profile, but just before I scare you who they are, let me let you hear them from an ordinary man's point of view, because by the time you start knowing who they are, you'll be like, oh, no wonder he's saying that. So listen to them like mere mortals before I share with you their immortality, about how they've conquered their entrepreneurship ways and their experiences and their success stories. Todd, I'm going to go back to you right now, and I'm going to ask you this. It's a year of leadership, a year of leading. What is the most difficult leadership decision that you ever had to make? And what was the consequences from that decision? The mic is yours.
Wow. There's a number of leadership decisions over the years that I've had to make. I'll go with this one. There have been times, and not just once, twice, but a number of times where first and foremost, I'm a Christian, and I'm a business pastor. I'm a pastor. So I say pastor / business pastor because I minister often within the confines of businesses. I'm also an associate pastor at a church. So I'm confronted with being able to always be a man of integrity and tell the truth. And there's been times when people have said, hey, I need for you to say this. And I'm like, no, I have to tell the truth. And as a result, I've been challenged and at times have been denied just because I tell the truth. But I have to answer to the Lord ultimately. And so because of that, opportunities sometimes have waylaid, but that's okay. There's more opportunities to come. So it's always been one of those things where I'm the man of integrity. Once you lose your integrity, how do you get it back? It's hard work.
Deep. I know that feeling, and I know what it feels like when you cannot compromise. And thank you for not compromising, because
Yes,
that is
sir.
what makes us appreciate you on platforms like this. It's such an amazing time. I see a lot of entrepreneurs. I see Muhammad, which I think he's trying to do his prayers, but he's got his camera down, still listening in, gets his camera on, still listening in to connect to the Entrepreneurs Assembly. I see some entrepreneurs on the road connecting to the Entrepreneurs Assembly. That's a lot of commitment. Listen, like Eddie Dog said at the beginning of this assembly, you're already leading yourself in the right direction. Now, I'm going to go deeper into more of these conversations, and I'm still going to read the profiles of our amazing speakers. And just before I do that, Daniel, I spoke earlier on the first Saturday of this month about the topic where I titled A Leader's Presence. I emphasized on the fact that when a leader is present, corrections has to be made. When the leader is present, there are some things that cannot afford to go wrong just because of the DNA in a leader. Daniel SARPONG, share with us, where has your presence made a difference? What instances, what storylines, and what were the outcomes of your presence? The mic is yours.
Okay, so thank you so much for that. To answer this question, I want to give a bit of my background, right? So when I finished university, I started working as a sales executive. And I was actually a struggling sales executive because the organization that I worked within, headquartered in Switzerland, they were not giving immediate training to interns and all that, but I was given targets and everything. Now, in the first 3 months of this role, will you believe that I brought in nothing in the organization? And it felt very terrible because I was working so hard, but I just couldn't bring in anything. So that is when I realized that there's a difference between passion and skills. A lot of entrepreneurs here are extremely passionate about your business. You will do anything to make your business work. But I want you to hear me out. Passion is different from skills. The fact that you are so passionate and you do everything, all the hard work, doesn't mean that you don't need the necessary skills. So I went in to develop myself, first level of leadership, self-investment. any book I could find on sales, any YouTube. I invested in courses myself. And in the 4th month, I brought in one of the biggest deals in the organization. And within 12 months, I became the head of sales in that organization. So that was literally someone right from school becoming a head of sales in an organization headquartered in Switzerland. Now, from there, an organization headquartered in Sweden also wanted a head of sales. So basically, they poached me. And I had to literally train one of my team members to take up that role and then take this new role. Now, here's where the question comes in, where a leader comes in and things have to happen. For the past 2 years within this organization, they had not been able to meet their revenue targets because processes were not necessarily working. The leaders were not necessarily putting the right systems. So within the first 4 months, I had to totally change everything. And now, Sammy, imagine going to an organization as a new person, and especially being one of the youngest amongst top-level managers. And then all of a sudden, you are bringing in new systems and structures and new ways of operations. And then everybody is like, we have brought in 5 different sales managers over the past 2 years. None of them weren't able to do it. How are you going to do this? But interesting to know that with the necessary strict guidelines that I put in to ensure productivity and efficiency, within the first 4 months, we achieved the target in the organization for the first time in 2 years. And within 12 months, we did the all-time highest revenue that the organization had achieved. And this got me nominated as a value award winner among over 400 managers within over 6 or 7 different countries. So this really lets you understand that leadership is the core of change. There is no form of change and impact without leadership. At the same time, leadership is not babysitting. If you're not ready to make the hard decisions, then go and sit somewhere and babysit. To be a leader means that you can't babysit anyone, and you can't babysit a team. What must be done must be done. In fact, there's a big difference between being a leader and being your ordinary human person, or even being a CEO. Maybe as a CEO, you are a very nice person, you're a very lovely person, but as a person, but immediately you assume the position as a leader, or you are given the authority or influence as a leader to make a change, immediately what you want doesn't matter. You must make the hard decisions and make it to make the team work. So your role there is to make the team work, not to make people happy. We will make people happy anyway, but your main goal is to make the team work.
This is one of the most crazy space I want to be, where I'm writing, I'm taking so much note, I'm digesting, it's hitting me, and then I have to unmute my mic and speak. Sometimes I just want to listen in, guys. I don't think I want to be doing this Fireside chat no more. I want to take my notes. Look at my notes. I was too busy taking those notes, dropping those punchlines, and the next thing, he muted his mic, and I have to rush back to my mic as well. Oh my God, Daniel, amazing. And usually, when people come to the Fireside chat, they automatically become my friend as virtuous as president. I never really get to ask. You can Todd, look at his smile. He's already falling in love with me. I'm already loving him. We become friends. Larry Long was here, blew up the whole platform. We became friends. But Daniel Sarpong, I want to ask you to be my friend. I don't want an automatic friendship. I want to humble myself and say, be my friend. And I'll tell you why. Why is because your answer to your question was the experience of the practicality that has happened in your own life. That was what you shared. A leader was present, not by storytelling, but by life experience. You dropped the practical, and we can definitely see the answer to that question. Thank you so much for joining in. I see Dr. John Austin as well. You're welcome. He's switching on his camera. I see so many people are turning on their camera. It's getting hot. And I see Dr. John Austin is wearing up the GF t-shirt. Yes, the GF is coming soon. Don't worry. We all can't wait. We did the Bless conference in Atlanta, and we had amazing big leaders confirmed and to be at the festival this year. Going back to what Daniel spoke about, I don't even know. The first thing he took was self-investment. That's the core.
Yeah.
And passion is different from skills. When you went into that narrative of the first 3 months of doing nothing, a lot of people could relate with you. I could relate with you when I started. Many people could relate with this. And when you now dropped it and say, listen here, guys, the fact that you are passionate about being a manager, you're passionate about being a director, you're passionate about being a sales manager, about being a personal assistant, about being whatever role you are, or even a CEO, is different from the skill. So your passion will not fetch you anything. You have to self-develop yourself in able to execute this result. And that was deep, clean, and clear. You spoke about the fact that leaders don't babysit. This year, and I'm enjoying it because it's our year of leading. And I always tell my team, I said, this year I'm not spoon feeding nobody. I'm not. Nobody's going to be babysitted this year. Leaders not. My team saw me as a different person. And that is it, because as leaders, all decisions got to make, and we have to watch you make and follow one word that you said, strict guidelines. Oh my God. A guy came into a company from another country, no matter his age, and he came to implement strict guidelines. And when he implemented those strict guidelines, it changed everything. That was his word. I wrote that word out. Changed everything. And I do not know, what did I write here? Leadership is the something of change, is the core of change. Yeah. My handwriting sometimes, I write like a medical doctor and it makes me mad sometimes. It's just crazy. I think I should have switched on my AI. Yes, sorry guys, that's what I should have done. Should have switched on my AI to work with me on this so that, yes, I can have my notes real time. But thank you so much, Daniel. I know, before I go back to Todd, that you wrote a book on 12 sales secret. And these are 12 sales secret that you said
I actually have it here.
500 companies. Yeah. 500 companies, global 500 companies will not tell you this sales secret.
Yeah.
Nah, just because of grace that found us, that found you, that brought you to this platform. Please give us 1-2 tips from that book and emphasize the third one leadership trait that we can also take from that book. The mic is yours, Daniel.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. So throughout my sales career and business, I realized that a lot of millions and billions of people out there would want to grow their business, want to grow their career, and life is sales. Everybody sells. In fact, that baby you have today is selling an idea to you that they are hungry. That's why they cry. And then you buy into that idea and you feed the baby and the baby keeps quiet. So, in fact, when you're going for that job, you are selling yourself. When you want an investment, you are selling yourself. When you are preaching the gospel, you are selling Jesus to people, right? If you want to date someone or marry someone, you are selling yourself. So you cannot take sales out of life. And if you can learn to sell and influence people, life will be seamless and easy for you because you get to understand what makes people say yes. So I realized that there are top 500 companies in the world ranked by Fortune magazine every year called the Global 500 companies. Why are they the Global 500 companies? Why has Walmart been Walmart for the past decades? Why is Coca-Cola Coca-Cola? Why is Facebook Facebook? Why is Emirates Emirates? Leadership brings results, and anytime you see somebody win success, it leaves trails. So never try to reinvent success. Success will show you certain trails. So I decided, let me get the trails of these companies. For about 6 years, I did research on all these Global 500 companies. And I realized there were these 12 things that runs through them. So I put together those 12 sales secrets. One of the core sales secrets is emotion, personalization. People buy out of emotion and then they justify it with logic. I buy things out of emotion, you buy things out of emotion, but we only justify it by logic. For example, if you were supposed to go on a trip to Dubai and you are going for a business meeting, the main thing is a business meeting. So that means that you're not going there to sleep. There are 2 hotels opposite each other. They have the same food, they have the same bed, same services. Everything is exactly the same. The only in fact, the price is the same. The only difference between these hotels is that one has an outside which is aesthetically very pleasing and beautiful, and it's known, and the other doesn't have that, but it's also a standard hotel. all of us here will go to the aesthetically pleasing hotel with a nice background so that we can tell our friends and family and send pictures and say that this is the hotel I slept in. Even though both hotels are close to each other, the same price, same services, same food, everything is the same. So you bought out of emotion and you justify it with logic that that's why I wanted to sleep. No. If you really wanted someone to sleep, you would have chosen the other one as well. So at any moment in time, you are a choice in the minds of people. How will you position yourself to ensure that you are the chosen one? That is what makes the difference between organizations that grow in revenue and organizations that never grow. So one thing that Coca-Cola did, so it will interest you to know that I'm sure some of you may have heard of the campaign Share Coca-Cola campaign, where Coca-Cola gave out a lot of Coca-Cola. I mean, the bottles were branded with names. So maybe we can have Dr. Sammy written on the Coca-Cola. We can have Daniel. We can have Todd. We can have Larry written on the Coca-Cola. Do you know that that campaign alone, so the background of that campaign is came out in Australia. So the Australian Coca-Cola organization reached out to about 4 agencies that I wanted to bring about a groundbreaking campaign to have a good coordination with the youth and things like that. And then this campaign came out. It was only for Australia. Immediately, it doubled the revenue of Australia. Coca-Cola Global said, let's have this campaign globally. And if you can check the statistics of Coca-Cola's revenue, in 2011, when this campaign was already brought out, it increased Coca-Cola's global revenue by $11 billion. It wasn't because of introduction of a new product. So sometimes we think extreme change is in the complex things, but sometimes it's in the little things. So this change of just putting people's name on Coca-Cola, which is called personalization, it made people cherish it. So I may buy it for maybe Dr. Sammy, not because I want to buy you a Coke, but because your name is written on it. I'll buy it for my mom because I see mom written on it. So now people started purchasing Coca-Cola, not only for drinking, but for other purposes. And then once I buy mine with Daniel on it, I'm going to take a picture of it and put it on social media. What did this do for Coca-Cola? What it did for them is that they got over 2.7 billion ad spend for free because everybody was sharing Coca-Cola. So if I have currently, I have over 37,000 followers on Instagram. So immediately I share it, I've automatically been an influencer for Coca-Cola for free. And the entire world was doing it. So they saved about $2.7 million in ad spend for free. And if you can check Coca-Cola's revenue throughout, I mean, from 2010, 2011, is this campaign that gave them a bump in revenue. So the first secret is personalization. For example, if someone comes to your shop or your store, you're having an investment discussion with anyone, do you just call them sir or madam, or you get their name? Not just their name, but mention their name right. Personalization. If you decide to give gifts to people, for example, Dr. Sammy, if I get you a nice, which is beautiful, you would really appreciate it. But if I have your name on it, you will take it everywhere. So that's the first secret, that's personalization. Another secret that I also want to share is networking. Networking, because most of the global 500 companies actually network and work amongst themselves. Today, you can have Honda networking and partner with Hyundai to work on a project together. So it's more of collaboration, not just competition. Most entrepreneurs are focused on we are competing, but no, it's more of collaboration than competing. So another thing that people don't do in terms of networking is that we think networking is going for events and shoving cards in the hands of people. It's not networking. A lot of people have become nuisance at events in the name of networking. So I can't go deep, but in the book, I wrote about all the do's and how to network. But the core thing I want to understand about networking is that your next opportunity is not in heaven. Your next opportunity is already here on earth. God has already made it available, but it's in someone else's pocket. Everything we want to achieve, I want to achieve in the next 10 years. Dr. Sammy, Todd, Larry, everyone, everything we want to achieve is actually already here. Everything is already here. That house is already here. That land is already here. That business is already there because the clients are already there. The investors are already here. But the thing is that your next opportunity is in someone else's pocket. So your ability to network and give value to people, which networking is. Networking is not taking things from people, it's about giving value to people. In fact, the relevance of a network you have is how much you've been able to feed that network, not how much you've been able to get from that network. So if our next opportunity is someone else's pocket, the ability to network and be a savvy networker will determine the level of growth you always have in life as well.
Wow, amazing stuff. Guys, let's appreciate Daniel. We got free lessons from the book. Of course, I don't need to tell you that you need to get a copy of that book. It's something that, everyone needs to grab a copy. I'm going to grab mine. Please show the book again. It's very important. Just show it up. I'm going to spotlight you. The 12 sales secrets that you would never be told. And the global 500 companies, they don't want you to know.
They don't want
by
you to know.
Daniel
Yeah.
SARPONG. Yeah, that's the book. I'm sure it's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, yes.
Yeah, we can get that book. And I'm just trying to take you off spotlight now. Remove spotlight. Yeah, thank you. And make sure you grab your copy. Follow Todd on Instagram. Follow Daniel on Instagram. Follow them on LinkedIn as well. Connect with them. Connect with their product. Just to let you know, I told you I'm going to let you know who they are later because, I don't want you to get sucked in their achievement. But listen to this. Todd Neal is an experienced specialist that demonstrated history in working with restaurant, hospitality, and insurance industry. He's skilled in coaching, strategic connection, sales and public speaking, team building, and mentoring. He's a strong human resource professional with M Division in religion from New Orleans Baptist Seminary. You're welcome in, Todd. And Daniel is a African brother from Ghana living in the UK. He's a keynote speaker and executive trainer in sales, leadership, communication, and digital transformation. He is an author and a business strategist. So now you know the powerhouses in the room. Many more to take from this gentleman, and I'm going to extract as much as I can. Just before I extract some more, life is sales with the word of Daniel. Last year was our year of selling, and we spoke majorly about sales and selling. Wow. Now you've heard it again. So you can never stop selling yourself in your industry, in your company, in your relationship, in your homes, in your community. Keep selling because life is sales. And I have so many notes here. I don't even want to go back to it. But remember that we are also live on Facebook for those who are joining us live on Facebook. You can get the repeats of this program on YouTube, and you can also watch it on Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Facebook account. If you're not following our social media, follow it, Africa's Young Entrepreneurs, follow the Entrepreneurship Village, and of course, follow the Global Entrepreneurship Festival. These gentlemen will be giving their VVIP to the biggest entrepreneurship event in the world coming during the Global Entrepreneurship Week in November. And Larry this time around must also be there. So it's amazing. When I was in the US and I was speaking at a particular conference, the leadership conference, it was amazing to see the number of people that came from America to Nigeria for the Global Entrepreneurship Festival. And the feedback, they were just saying, I had so much goosebumps. It felt like, wow, almost a quarter of the room came in from America to the festival. And it felt like a GEF reunion. Chairman Dan, I'm sure you can bear me witness to that, right? So do not miss it. November 21 to the 23rd, that's the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And that weekend, the biggest entrepreneurship event will be coming up. And of course, I'm looking at this gentleman also hosting a room, and we can get to feel them and not just hear from them. Now, I'm going to go to Todd now. And Todd, your transition to entrepreneurship is quite amazing. And I want to see, with over 30 years of experience in top Fortune 100 companies, what were you able to take from those companies that now influenced your leadership lifestyle, your coaching lifestyle, your public speaking lifestyle? What are we able to take from our corporate identity, our corporate experience that will affect positively our entrepreneurship journey? The mic is yours, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's a wonderful question. And when I look back over 30 plus years of experience, being a servant is not celebrated. Most of us want somebody to serve us. But if you can be a servant, so all you out there who are listening now, we didn't arrive on our own. We had many who come alongside of us. I have some wonderful mentors. Larry Long, who was on the call at the beginning, is a mentor, and he'll be the first to say, he demonstrates it daily to me in the way that he serves. And that's my heart. I want to serve. I want to help. Those of you who are young and trying to do the opportunities of serving people, I would encourage you, just get that mentality. I want to serve. Daniel mentioned about networking. In growing your business, I can't encourage you enough with just taking the time to network with people. If you take time just to get to know people one-on-one, look at your calendar for a week. If you're growing a business or in a business, you always got to keep that pipeline full of contacts where you're just not just saying, what can I get from somebody, but what can I give? And I feel like when I have the opportunity to talk to somebody, I want them to know that they have the opportunity to make a difference. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? You want to make a difference. I would just encourage you, lean in. I'll mention I like to read. Leaders are readers. You have to read your whole life. Leaders are readers. Picking up, I have 7, 8, 9 books at any one time. I'm going through those books. I don't finish one before I start another one, but I would encourage you. One of the books that has been impactful for me the last 2 years is by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Bob Teed. His name is Tiede. He has a book called Leading with Questions, #1 bestseller on Amazon, and it's reframed the way I conversate with people. Ask questions. Don't come like you know everything. That's the problem with a lot of people who are egotistical. They think they know everything and they don't know much. So come asking questions, be prepared to ask questions, and in the process, you'll get a lot of your answers. Ask questions, and not just any question. Listen to what people are saying. Don't wait thinking you have the answer. Ask them the question and then listen. Many of us grow up with the opportunity or thinking your parents teach you to talk. How many of your parents have taught you to listen? Just listen. Be quiet. There's so much value in that. So being still, listen, make sure you're taking care of yourselves. I was thinking about prior to this conversation today, what are you doing to take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally? You got to be hitting all that all the time. And if any one of those areas are going down, check yourself. Have yourself mentors who can tell you the truth. How many of you like the truth? How many of you like to be told the truth? Told the truth about, hey, if you're not getting it, if you're not really hitting it where you need to hit it, have somebody who can tell you the truth in your life, because it'll help you grow.
Thank you very, very much. I'm still waiting for probably an innovation of Zoom where if I just wave my hand, my mic will automatically unmute, or if I just open my mouth to unmute, rather than searching for my mute button sometimes, because when you just finish, one just want to jump in. I love I have a pipeline full of contacts. And when we say contacts, we're talking about the right people. Many of you, your phone is full of friends and irrelevant people. Start swapping them as a leader with the right people. Have the right numbers. That's one of the strategies you can have as a leader. So thank you, Todd, for letting us know that we should have a pipeline. And one of the things that Todd said, now, do you know your corporate experience will bring you in connection with the right people? That's one of the things that you are getting from a company that you do not know. Like some people, I don't know if I can find this quote. Let me try and find it. Okay, let me see if I can find it. I just forgot. I was supposed to post it, but now I just remembered. I just remembered it, so I'm gonna post it. People say, what's it called now? Oh my God, I wish I found it. Oh God, I wish I find it. Okay, people say that. Oh, what did I gain from there? Was God, I'm sorry guys, but I'm just looking for something. I thought I wrote it in my cloud. Okay, let me just try search my cloud. This is so painful. This is so painful. But let me try and share the story again. This is so crazy. Let's see. Let's try for the last time. Bear with me. Let me use one keyword to search it. I wrote it somewhere. I wrote it somewhere, but I missed it. Lord, bear with me. Well, I missed it, but I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll find it after the assembly. And when Todd was speaking about pipeline of contacts, people do not know that even where you are, with Daniel in the companies he worked with, those were the contacts and the references that's helping him today. The company, some of you, because of the virtue of your corporate environment and corporate identity, you are dealing with the kind of client that in your lifetime you would never have been able to deal with. Absolutely. What I was looking for was the kind of like short, I used to write some short articles, 2-3 lines, and post it on my Facebook. And I wrote this one down and I didn't post it, and now I'm looking for it. And it was about, most usually when the HR do the hiring, I always do the final approvals for some specific position. And I was speaking to this guy, and I kind of asked him, before I traveled out of the country, I kind of asked him, so why are you leaving the company where you're living? And he said, because you guys are at the assembly, you always get to hear these stories first before I post it out. But I wish you read it the way I wrote the write-up. And the guy said, I'm not growing. Things are kind of like stagnant. Nothing is happening. And that's why I'm moving. Okay, that's good. That's good. Stagnation. So I'm like, okay, I see you've traveled here. You've been to Iraq. That's strange. You've been to the UK. You've been to Kenya. So how come? What happened? Oh, I was on training. My company sent us on training to these countries and everything like that. I said, oh, okay, that's good. And then I saw another thing. I can't remember what I saw. I said, okay, you did this particular MBA, you did this one. And they said, yes, my company gave us this training and whatever. I said, okay, that's good. And I said, oh, you use this software. And how did you use this software? They said, oh, because my company forced us to use the software and we always make our submission to use the software. And then I finished. I said, I'm done. He said, am I hired? I said, no, you are fired, actually, because you're an ungrateful idiot. Now, you say you did not grow, but a company sent you to 6 countries across the world. You say you did not grow. You learned how to use a software doing these presentations in a company. You say you did not grow, but this and this happened to you. I don't relate to ungrateful human beings. Now, that guy was the fastest firing I had in my world record. Now, why am I saying this? The pipeline of contacts, pipeline full of contacts that some of us has been engaged with due to our corporate engagement. These are things that helps you in your own entrepreneurial leadership journey. And he said, listen more, train even your children to listen more, and then at the same time, ask questions. And there has to be a balance, because you don't just listen and then play dumb. You listen to also ask questions. So it's such an amazing one. I asked in the beginning of this session as we begin to wind up, but ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs in the room, if you're just joining us, this is the Entrepreneurs Assembly. It's still not too late to tell your friend to come and listen to something. It's still not too late to invite your staff, your colleagues, your employers, your employees. Do you know that some people do not even know that they can invite their employers to assembly? Guess what? I was sharing some things with my team. I said, life is going to get to, see, I need to share this. Because of the ever-presence of intelligence, I'm not really moved by your intelligence anymore, because I know it's moved everywhere. I know you can get it everywhere. But I'm moved by the extraordinary human things that you do. I don't know which word I can use to explain this. For example, if my staff sent me a message and say, boss, there's a session going on, I want you to listen to it. You might enjoy it. I swear to God, I'm going to be so shocked, and she has my respect, or he has my respect. Or if my staff sends me a video or a book. Now, right now, you are going to start using emotional intelligence. You remember what Daniel spoke about now? Emotions. To penetrate some things. Like your clients. Who told you cannot invite your customers to an assembly? Oh, some things are happening here. Take this link, join him. Oh, listen to this video. Oh, I saw this book and I think you will like it, boss. Those are the ways you are going to start penetrating. But let me not divert. But what I was just trying to say is, it's not too late, because we're winding down now, and it might be their final closing statement that somebody in your family needs to hear, or your friend needs to hear, or your brother, your employee, or your employer. Do yourself a favor. Present yourself like a leader. Take the link and say, oh, I'm in such a room right now. Join in. I think you will like. These are attributes of leadership. Only a leader behaves like that. No, followers, oh, they listen and like, oh, okay, they're just like they're like done these. That's followers. A leader, we take the initiative and say, oh, my sister, my family group, let's join. And they will start looking at the traits. That trait, they will start classifying you as a leader. When we started this conversation, I asked Todd a movie title for his life and which actor would play it. Now I'm going to ask Daniel, if you had the opportunity to swap your life for 24 hours with a leader, a current leader, a present leader that is alive, which leader would you choose and why?
That's an interesting question. If I had the opportunity to swap my life for in 24 hours with a current leader, does the person have to be alive?
Alive.
Alive.
We don't want you dead for 24 hours.
Well, there are some leaders that actually wondered their ways of thinking. I mean, some of them are currently not alive. I wondered their way of thinking and I've actually thought of how did they think every single day to be able to do certain things that they did. But if I have to think of a leader currently that I want to look at their life, that's a very difficult question because I have a couple of them. I have a couple of them.
Take your time.
Okay, maybe I'll go in the area of public speaking, especially global public speaking. And I think one of the biggest names currently globally is Tony Robbins. And I have watched a bit about him, his documentary, and how he grew up from literally nothing. And he said something about he recreating himself. And I understand that recreating yourself is actually possible, but it's very difficult. Recreating yourself is like killing yourself to be born anew. So maybe I would want to see the level of thought pattern he has gone through and he keeps going through. Because recreating yourself is actually very hard. It's like, this is all I have known my entire life. What are you trying to tell me that my life can be different? That is very difficult. Because my entire life, I've been told I'm nothing. My entire life, people in my family don't become anything. My entire life, it's full of poverty. My entire life, we don't amount to anything. But then here you are telling me I can create myself. Here you are telling me I can become the best version of myself. How then do I do it? So I think that is one person that I want to see his level of thought, his thought pattern throughout life, not just his thought pattern now, but in the past, from where he started from to him recreating himself to become who he is today.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you very much. I cannot thank you enough, gentlemen, for your time with us, as I'm going to ask our final questions. And I can feel why you also chose that person. I can really relate to why you chose that person. So now you can come back. Your 25 hours is over. Be yourself, Daniel. And yes, let's start recruiting ourselves. That is a very, very thoughtful one. Something that every one of us is supposed to hold tight. Recreation is possible. It's difficult, but it's possible. And some of us might need to recreate ourselves to become who we plan to become. Recreation, I mean, ignoring the background, ignoring the narrative, ignoring the ancestral belief, and sticking onto that which you believe for yourself and for your future. What an amazing, amazing illustration from the identity that you've chosen. Entrepreneurs from all over the world, I thank you for your time. I'm going to be asking my last questions, but do not miss out on these gentlemen by connecting with them on their social media platforms. At the end of this session, do not leave. We always say that an attribute of a leader is professionalism. And one act of professionalism is always finishing what you started. It's a weak point for many people. You might need to recreate yourself as well. Some of you do not know how to finish whatever you start. You start a journey, not finish. You start a song, not finish. You start a book, incomplete. Career, incomplete. Course, incomplete. Exercise, incomplete. Meetings, incomplete. Trainings, incomplete. When you are in the assembly, start even before the assembly starts and finish at the last bar. That's discipline. Discipline. Recreating yourself to always complete everything that you've started. Now, connect with them at the end of this session. We'll be throwing their social media links on the platforms. Connect with them. And do not be a nuisance in networking, like Daniel said. Hey, my needs, can I have your number? No, nobody gives out numbers like that. Present yourself as somebody of value. Connect with them, follow them, comment, like their page, buy their books. And then it's easy. Networking begins to grow. Add value. I'm about to ask my last questions, gentlemen. And it's always with the acronym FRA, F-R-A. Listen very carefully, because it's a 3-in-1 question. First, you're going to give us your feedback, F, on what you think about this community, what do you think about what we're doing, what do you think about this platform. R, you're going to give us a recommendation. Recommend a book, a movie, a documentary, a song, a poem, a quote, whatever you feel that stands out or change your life in your entrepreneurship field. If be it even a software or a app or an AI, I'm so AI crazy right now, that you can recommend as a tool, and then we can take it. And then A, what's your closing advice for entrepreneurs from all over the world? I repeat, F-R-A, feedback, recommendation, and advice. Mr. Todd, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it. It's been great being with you all today. Feedback on the community here. I can't say enough about when you surround yourself with people. Look at this is how many people are on this call right now? 75 people. But let's just think about, who are you surrounding yourself with on a daily basis? Being around entrepreneurs, you start to think like those that you're in the room with. So I would encourage you, take time to surround yourself with people who are going somewhere. If you're a 5 and you're hanging around with 2s, how long is it going to take before you're also a 2? Look for people who are striving, who are going after it, and they'll push you. Like I said before, I'm the stretch. I like to be stretched. Continue to look for opportunities to grow. Recommendation. One of my mentors, I've never met him personally, but like Tony Robbins, who has had huge impact around the world, I'll say John Maxwell. He's been a mentor afar for me for many, many years. Follow John Maxwell. He's the #1 leadership expert in the world. Hands down, nobody else can touch him. And he produces and multiplies leaders, and he's put people in places to where he doesn't have to be everywhere. He has people who are his lieutenants and generals, and he can only be one place at a time. But put yourself around people like John Maxwell who can impact you. He's an humble man. He engages. I don't care if I become a multi-billionaire, if I can't walk into a room and just be myself, then I've lost it. Somebody needs to come to my face and say, Todd, get a hold of yourself. So I don't care how big your organization grows, be approachable, be humble, serve the people. My greatest hero, obviously, is Jesus Christ. He is humble. He's made the biggest impact on my life, and I ascribe to do that in my day-to-day living. And my closing advice, and I've said this throughout, but just look for a mentor. Look for somebody who will be honest with you, will speak into your life. You're going to have struggles. Don't quit. Don't give up. I played sports for many years, and still I'm active. I ran track, played football, played basketball, played baseball. I have 3 children, and all my children played sports. Been married 28 years. Have there been hard times? Absolutely. But keeping your eye on, for me, it's keeping my eye on the Lord and continuing to persist and persevere. So I would just encourage you, just like in track, it was hard. I trained hard. I trained in the off season. Are you training? Those of you listening to this call right now, are you training when everybody else is out playing around? Are you training? Are you working hard at your craft? Whatever you're going to do, whatever you're becoming, whatever you're currently doing, are you working at it? You got to work at it 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. The hip hop preacher that, if you type in hip hop preacher on Google, he is the motivational speaker that a lot of people are following today. Eric Thomas. So great motivational speaker. I encourage you, follow people who are doing something, and it'll impact your life. It'll impact your thoughts. And I'll close with that. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Todd, and thank you so much for all that you have contributed. Like you said, follow people that are going somewhere. I've always said it that sometimes the fastest path to success for you is following people who are already on the way there. There's room. If there's one thing that we have in common, is our desire to succeed. Is our passion for success. That's one common identity in this room. That alone can sprout you to success. That alone, every Saturday, 90 minutes of your time, that alone is enough motivation for you to succeed. And I'm really, really touched by that. And I hope that you really held on to that advice. And, you know, not everybody likes to be stretched. And Todd likes to be stretched. Only when a rubber band is stretched, only then is he able to fulfill his purpose. Stretch to hold on something, stretch to hold another bundle of cash. Only when you stretch it. Some of us, you got to know that only when you are stretched can you fulfill destiny. So when you have given a platform, a course, a program, a submission, an assignment that stretches you, you should be excited for the opportunity of being stretched so that the best of you can come. Oh, come and speak at this event. Oh, come and talk. Come and take the leadership position. Oh, no. I don't like to talk. Oh, no. I don't want to. I laugh at the mediocres because how do you get an opportunity to be stretched and run away from it? May that not be your portion in Jesus' name. I'm a Christian myself, and I pray for you in Jesus' name. Now, we had this advice: stay humble, remain humble, and follow the right people by getting the right mentor. Daniel Sapang, feedback, recommendation, and advice.
In terms of feedback, I would say that this platform is a great blessing. You know, it's a great blessing. I wish I had this kind of platform when I was maybe out of university or starting my career. I think it would have given me the necessary ability to even move faster. So I think everything I've learned a lot from even Todd. What he talked about stretch. I'm like, yeah, stretch, because I literally said this year is my year of stretching again. Last year I stretched. This year I'm stretching again. And I love the example you gave. And even on stretching, for example, an arrow can never, be moved until you stretch it. Right. So if you want to move fast like an arrow to hit your target, you need to stretch yourself. This is an amazing platform. And apart from that, everyone here, anything that is blessing you that you're not promoting can never really bless you. Immediately something blesses you, you must find a way to promote it. So for everybody here, this platform is a blessing. Mr. President, he has a very busy schedule. Todd has a very busy schedule, but Mr. President took time to put this here. And I think every other Saturday, he comes here to bring people to bless you guys. So I want all of you to find a way to always appreciate him as well. Don't just let him be the mentor that you just come on here and you don't have a relationship with him. Find a way. I want some of you to text the organization. What can I do? These are the skills I have. These are the people I have. I am in a school and I'm maybe the course rep. Can I get my students or the people I'm a TA? Can I get a university students? If you are not being a blessing to this platform, it can never really bless you enough. That's my first feedback, because everything happening here is amazing. The next time I come here, I want to see us in the tens of thousands. The next one, which is my recommendation. First, I want to recommend a good relationship with God to you. In as much as I'm a business speaker and all that, everything that I have achieved in my life has been God. I'm not saying it out of a cliche or out of gimmicks, like everybody wants to say that. It's not just about going to church. I'm trying to say a relationship with God. a quality relationship with God. He will make a very big difference in your business, in your career. I can't even talk about it enough. Apart from that, I also want to recommend, like I mentioned earlier, my book on sales. I have another book on mind, the mind. The truth is that I struggled a lot. Dr. Sami, I struggled with imposter syndrome. Yeah, I struggled with believing that, like, it's not about believing what was going to happen. I was living in the reality, but I still couldn't believe it is true. And I was acting like it wasn't true. It was at the age of 23, I was head of corporate sales and marketing for the organization headquartered in Sweden. But I wasn't even working like that because I had been told all my life that nothing good will come out of you. So I had to spend time to renew my mind. I had to spend time to write things people were telling me. You did this, you are brilliant. And I had to write it down and then imbibe it to even believe it. The results are there, but you see, your mind, what your mind has believed in a very long time, you have to first break it to build something new. So I wrote another book called Mind Games, which I also launched. That is breaking out of limitations to become your highest self. And the truth is that these books I write is not necessarily for the public. I write it for myself. It's like my journal. So that's why when you said it, I had it here, because at the beginning of every year, I remind myself in terms of the mind, breaking down everything that has been said about you and becoming the highest version of yourself. So I recommend these two books to you, The 12 Sales Secrets for Your Career and Mind Games to Becoming the Highest Version of Yourself. And in terms of the last one, which is advice, I want to let everyone here understand there is a seed of greatness in you. There's something special about you that the world is waiting for. And if you don't fulfill that purpose, you are denying people the ability to fulfill their own purpose. I don't care your family you are coming from. I don't care the city you are coming from. I don't care your family background. Your background doesn't mean that your back should be on the ground. Your background doesn't mean that your back should be on the ground. I want you to have a solid form of perseverance where even if you are in chaos, you are pushing. Chaos is not a proof you are failing. Chaos is a proof you are winning. And your ability to push in chaos shows you are truly resilient. Life will not always be straight. Sometimes you wake up depressed. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to be consistent. Sometimes you want to give up. That is the time that tests if you really want the things you said you want. When things are smooth, it doesn't tell if you really want the things you said you want. When things are tough and it looks like it's impossible, that is when we can test if this is what you really want. So as if you are listening to me here, I want you to understand that dream you have is valid. Those dreams you had 10 years ago, they are still valid. And it doesn't matter what the matter is. You will matter where it matters most. Just give yourself time. Give yourself time. Be patient on it. Don't be focused on this world of fast foods, fast microwavable things. Anything that has not been tested cannot be trusted. So you must test your capacity, test your ability, test your skills, test everything before you bring it out. So don't think that this year, everything that you have ever desired in your life will happen. Give it time, but give it your best. And it will be great to connect with all of you. Dr. Sami will connect after here. Great to have me here. It's been a pleasure. Todd, it's been great having you here as well. It would be great to connect with all of you. And for everyone here as well, on Instagram, I'm Daniel_Sapon7. Daniel_Sapon7. On LinkedIn, I'm Daniel Sapon Jr. And if you're a Christian here as well, we often have a community of Christians. So I minister in churches as well for businesses. So we have a community called the Marketplace Christian Network, where we meet sometimes once a month to share ideas on business and also pray together. It would be great to connect with everyone here. Stay blessed. And Mr. President, God bless you so much for the amazing work you're doing here.
Thank you so much, Daniel.